Thank you very much. As I indicated in my opening statement, shipbuilding, as you know, enjoys strong bipartisan support. And I'm perplexed as to why the budget request would move $25 billion in shipbuilding over into reconciliation, where you have a cliff at some point. The cliff, of course, could become too soon. And why, Mr. Secretary, in your view, is the shipbuilding $25 billion not still in the base request?
Thank you, Chairman, for the question. I know it's an important one to you, and appreciated spending time with you recently. Look, the Department of the Navy supports a solution that provides consistent additional funding for the Navy and the Marine Corps to meet the challenges that we need. I think at the end of the day, we're going to need both the mandatory and discretionary funding to operate in fiscal year 26. So we call it one budget, two bills. We need both in order to operate and meet our objectives. Every program we have is extremely important. One of the tough things, as I said in my opening statement, this readiness challenge is how I have to optimally allocate capital because, look, the bad news is we have underinvested in the U.S. Navy for a long time in our infrastructure, in our programs, in the shipbuilding maritime industrial base, and those bills are all coming due. We have deferred them in multiple ways. We've maintained ships at 50% maintenance levels, and you should not do that. We have done that, and they're all coming at the same time. So it is a big challenge that we're dealing with. But to answer your question, Senator, we're going to need both in order to meet our objectives.
Let's switch to AUKUS. The Congress, on a bipartisan basis, has approved it. The Australians are contributing billions of dollars to the initiative. Could you explain why the department would signal to our closest partners, the Brits and the Aussies, that we're considering pulling the plug on the whole thing? What kind of message, what kind of message are we sending to the very allies and partners we expect to fight side by side with us in the Indo-Pacific?
And thank you, Chairman, for the question. Australia and the UK are our most enduring allies and very important allies, in particular in the Indo-Pacific. I think, just like the British, a new administration came in, they are reviewing that agreement, and that is what the current administration is doing. Our new administration is, we're taking a look at the agreement, trying to understand it completely and thoroughly, and I look forward to posting you after that review is done. But I don't think we are signaling in any way, shape, or form that we are not committed. I think the president recently talked about the importance with the British Prime Minister. They're very important allies. This is an important treaty. I think we just want to make sure that it makes sense, and so it's just being reviewed. And Admiral Kilby can elaborate on some of the things we've been doing with the Australians and the British as well.
Well, I'm sorry.
Just to add to what Secretary Phelan said, we are doing significant work with the Australians as far as the repair capability. They're embarked on our ships right now and training with us from an operational perspective, and they're in Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard. And we've just sent our first folks over to SRF West Sterling to stand up that base there. So those are some of the practical improvements that have happened over the last year.
I've got one more question, then we'll turn this into shots. We need more munitions, air defense interceptors, long-range fires, artillery. Recent conflicts tell us we need a lot more of them. Recent experience tells us our industry isn't producing them fast enough. So, how are the Navy and Marine Corps addressing this challenge? Does the Navy's budget fully utilize the production capacity of the defense industrial base?
Thank you again, Senator, for that question. A very important one. Look, fully funding our munitions industrial base is essential, both for the near term and the future. As I think Admiral Kilby mentioned in his opening statement, we're looking at a number of different avenues, including other parties and different ways of making some of these munitions. This is a huge priority from both the Secretary of Defense and the President, and we are putting as much effort and time into this as we are on shipbuilding. So it is critical. I look forward to coming back to you with some of the ideas and suggestions we have, but your point is absolutely well taken. It's something we need to focus on and get fixed.
Senator Schatz.